We freed it up. It's a great natural resource for us. Clean, I call it clean, beautiful coal, what they can do with coal today. In the first 8 months of 2018, Montana coal production increased by 2.5 million tons. It's a lot. That's a lot, right? To continue this incredible momentum, we need to elect more Republicans like Matt Rosendale. You got to do it, because it can be turned off. It can be turned off so quickly. Last week, we made another truly historic announcement. We're replacing NAFTA with a beautiful new brand, because it's a much different deal. It will be called the U.S.-Mexico Trade Deal. One-on-one. And hopefully Canada will come into that deal, and if they don't, that'll be fine, and if they do, that'll be fine. Either way, we can live, we'll be very happy. I think they will, because we love Canada. We do love Canada. They've treated us pretty badly in trade for the last 40 years, but that's okay. It wasn't my fault. We're going to make a fair deal with Canada, just like we did with Mexico. We're cracking down on unfair trade practices emanating from China. America is tired of getting ripped off. We're going to get a great deal for our farmers and ranchers and factory workers. We're giving our workers and businesses a level playing field. Republicans passed the biggest package of tax cuts, and very importantly, tax reforms. The average Montana family of 4 will take home $2,281 extra dollars this year, and many will take home much more than that. And our tax cut saves family farms and ranches and small businesses from unfair estate tax, also known as the death tax. So now if you leave, you're a guy, have a beautiful farm, husband, a wife, and you love your kids. By the way, if you don't love your kids, don't leave it to them. Don't worry about it. Then this won't help too much. But you want to leave it to your kids. You'd like your kids to take over the farm. But you couldn't do it because they had to borrow a fortune in order to work it out. We got rid of that tax. That's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. So you can leave your small business or your farm or your ranch, and they won't have to go into a big bank and say, gee whiz, wouldn't it be great if we could borrow some money? By the way, Dodd-Frank, little thing, I fixed it. Dodd-Frank has been changed. We're canceling Obama's illegal anti-coal, so-called clean power plan. Sounds so beautiful, right? You know what that means. You know, when I did it, I said, man, this is a tough one. It sounds so nice. Clean power plan. There's only one problem. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It'll put our country out of business. It took away our greatest natural resources. We couldn't do anything with them. It was such a pretty term. Clean power plan. It's out of business now. We're going to have clean power, but it's not going to be under the Clean Power Plan. And we're strongly protecting our public lands for hunters and fishermen and everyone who loves the outdoors, like my son, Don, who comes here a lot. My son comes here a lot. You know that. A lot of you know my son, Don, comes here. He loves hunting. We passed Veterans' Choice, giving our veterans the right to see a private doctor if he has to wait in line for the rest of his life. And we also passed the landmark VA Accountability Act. They've been trying to pass both of them for more than 45 years. I got them both passed. And with accountability now, if a bad government worker abuses one of our great veterans, and we love our veterans, We turn to them and we say, "You're fired." Boom. We secured a record $700 billion for our military this year and $716 billion next year for our military. And at my direction, the Pentagon is working hard to create a sixth branch of the United States Armed Forces, the Space Force. So important. So important. People don't know. I mean, we're not just talking about going up to the moon, going up to Mars. We're talking about you need it. Now you need it. You look at Russia. You look at China. You look at what's going on, what they're doing. We need it. We'll be the best in the world very shortly in space. I withdrew the United States from the horrible Iran deal. And I also recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Big deal. That was a big deal. And the embassy's already built. It's built about 20 years ahead of budget and schedule. I would say we're probably about 20 years. You know that story. I'm not going to tell it. But we built it real fast. We had the best location. They're all looking for a location. And a friend of mine, the ambassador to Israel, said, "Oh, but we already have the best piece of land in all of Israel. Best piece of land in Jerusalem. And we have a building on it. Let's renovate it." So instead of spending $1.2 billion, we spent $400,000. That was the same. And instead of opening it in 10 to 20 or 30 years or maybe never, we opened it about 4 months later. It's been open for a long time already. A lot of people working there. So we have the embassy already open. Do I get credit for saving $1 billion? Not really. Someday. Someday. You know, when Abraham Lincoln made the Gettysburg Address speech, the great speech, do you know he was ridiculed? He was ridiculed. He took the horse and carriage up from the White House. He wrote it partially in that carriage and partially at a desk in the Lincoln bedroom, which is incredible, by the way, in the White House. And he went up to Gettysburg, and he delivered that speech, the Gettysburg Address. And he was excoriated by the fake news. They had fake news. He was excoriated. They said it was a terrible, terrible speech. They said it was far too short. It's not long. Many of us know it by memory. It was far too short. And it was far too flowery. It was too flowery, 77 years ago, right? Too flowery. And he died. 50 years after his death, they said it may have been the greatest speech ever made in America. Pretty good. Pretty good. I have a feeling that's going to happen with us. In different ways, that's going to happen with us. For years, you watched as your leaders apologized to other countries for America. They apologized. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. So sorry. Now you have a president who's standing up for our country. I'm standing up for America. Look at the size of that guy. Man. Look at this guy. Do I like him? Wow. We're not going to mess with him tonight, I tell you. Thank you, man. That's cool. That's really great. Thank you very much. We're standing up for your values. We're standing up for Montana. And we're standing up for our national anthem and our flag. But if Democrats get back into power, they will try to reverse all of our incredible gains like nobody thought possible. So this November, you need to get your friends, get your family, Get your coworkers and get out and vote Republican. Get out and vote for Matt Rosendale. He's going to be a great senator, and he'll always vote for what we want. He will always vote for America First, for Make America Great Again. Matt will always be voting for us. Won't just be talk. Loyal citizens like you help build this country. And together we are taking back our country. Sometimes not so easily, but it's happening, and it's happening fast. We're returning power back to where it belongs, back to the American people. Our American ancestors braved the oceans, tamed the wilderness, won a revolution, and fought to victory in 2 world wars. We defeated fascism, triumphed over communism, and we delivered millions into freedom. Our ancestors built the railroads, linked the highways, and they proudly planted an American flag on the face of the moon, which is not shown in that movie. They did not show that in the moon. See, what they're missing is that that movie would have been a much bigger success if they planted the flag like they were supposed to. We stand on the shoulders of generations of American patriots who knew how to work, knew how to fight, and knew how to win. Just like them, we're going to keep on fighting, and we're going to keep on winning. We will not bend. We will not break. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down, and we will always fight on to victory. We're going to have victory. We're going to keep it going. Because we are America, and our hearts bleed red, white, and blue. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. It's already happened. We will make America safe again. And above all, we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Montana.